this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. This is Ayesha Curry. She is the wife of basketball great Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. And she is going around the talking circuit telling everybody how unhappy she is, because that's really what she's saying, in her marriage and with, being a mother. I believe that she is going through what they call postpartum depression. Some women go through postpartum depression after they've had a baby. She's got 4 babies and, she feels stuck. And I don't think that's so unusual. It's just that people don't think she ought to say anything because she's married to this very cute, very successful basketball player who doesn't seem to be out there cheating. He doesn't seem to be giving her any trouble. So he's dug in, but he understands what's going on with his wife better than anybody else. And that is why I think that even though people are going to talk, I think as you talk, you should also consider that she might be going through something that's beyond having money, having a mansion, living in a mansion, having a very successful husband who can give you all of the material things that you want. It could be a problem of her spirit. I think it's important to show grace when you really don't know what's going on, because nobody really knows what's going on with this girl. We just know that she's talking too much. That's what we know. In her last interview, she said that she's in therapy all the time. So something deeper is going on with her than just not being happily married. And she's getting beat up in the public. She's getting beat up, and black men are giving her a rough time like they do. Because God forbid that you would stop and think that maybe this person really is having some type of mental issue. She may be having sometimes people they say having what used to be called a nervous breakdown. She could be having something like that could be going on with her. But what she needs to understand is going public with it is not the answer, because Black Americans can be the least sympathetic of people, especially if it's mental or emotional concerns. And especially if it's a woman. You're supposed to be the workhorse. You're supposed to absorb the pain and smile and make everybody think that everything is all right. Make sure everybody else is okay, especially a black man. You're not going to receive any sympathy. Now, Ayesha Curry may not know that, because Ayesha Curry is actually a Canadian. She's an immigrant to the United States. So I don't think she understands Black American culture. In Black American culture, you do not embarrass your husband. Now, he can get out there and talk about you and call you a H and a thought and a whatever he wants to call you, and it will be applauded. And these men and some women will group up on these podcasts and talk about, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? The woman is never satisfied. Women are never any good. Marriage is always terrible. But don't you say anything about that black man, because now you're into serious territory where you're going to get dragged out up and down social media and the church and everywhere else. Black people are concerned all over the country that she's making Steph look bad. I don't think it's so much making him look bad. I think she's making herself look bad. Remember the other day I played this African guy talking about Black Americans and saying that Black Americans don't have any taboos. He doesn't know what he's talking about. There are plenty of taboos in Black American culture. And one of those taboos is that you don't bring shame on the family name, and you don't get out there in public and embarrass your spouse. I don't believe that she understands that she's embarrassing him. But it is embarrassing with people not knowing the facts. And we don't need to know the facts about her marriage, but we also don't need to know that she's not happy. And every chance she gets, she's going to tell the world that she's not happy. She needs to stop talking. And I wonder, when women do things like this, where are their parents? It was the same thing with the woman that was involved with P. Diddy. And she was saying he was doing all of those things to her. And my question was, where were her parents? Her parents were still alive. They are still alive. Was that not their job to tell their child, you need to get out of that situation? It's dangerous. Regardless to how much money is involved, it's dangerous. Isn't that what parents are supposed to do? Protect their children regardless to how old they are. Ayesha Curry's parents are alive. Why can't they just tell her, no, you don't do that, even if you are unhappy? Your husband is still out there actively playing basketball, and people are talking. The whole town is talking about you, and then they're talking about him. So you have to protect your spouse too. And for anybody who's going to come here and say, well, she has a right to express her opinion, she does have a right to express her opinion, but it shouldn't be in a public forum. She married him without the public's consent. She's had those 4 children, which it seems like she probably didn't want that many children. That's what it sounds like. And it sounds like she knew after the first baby that that wasn't the life that she wanted. And she didn't do anything about it. So that lets you know right there she doesn't really want to do anything about it. She just wants to talk about it. And that's why I'm saying you need to stop talking, Mrs. Curry. And I'm going to end with this. She's not just doing damage to herself and her husband, she's also doing damage to her children. She's saying that, she didn't even want to have children, stuff like that. And she has girls. Girls tend to be very protective of their fathers. So she's out here making their father look bad. I think that oldest girl is 12. It's just going to be a matter of time before she starts having, mother-daughter problems with that girl anyway. And with her out here running her mouth, talking about not wanting to have children and talking about and making their daddy look bad, she's going to have a problem on her hand at home. That has nothing to do with Steph, because girls will challenge their mothers when they get a certain age. And I know something about that. So she really does need to be careful. And somebody needs to tell her, Ayesha, she says she's going to therapy. So I guess it's not enough to just talk to her therapist. She wants to publicize it to the world that she didn't want to have children and she didn't want to get married. Well, I'm going to put a link to that video in the comment section that's got everybody talking. I just decided not to play it myself, but I'll put it in the comment section. If you haven't seen it, you can see it and, judge for yourself if she needs to stop talking. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video and have a good evening.